Hello again, YouTube, and today we have a somewhat celebratory vlog. So, just to catch you up on what's been going on, last vlog, basically no idea if I was going to get the manager position at Green Hills. And I had basically put in for a couple of different places for a job, such as Target, Home Depot, Kroger, um, stuff like that. Well, today, and this video probably won't be up until tomorrow, but today is Tuesday. Tomorrow's obviously Wednesday. I work tonight at Opry Mills Regal Theater. First of all, let's back up to Saturday. So, well, technically Friday into Saturday. So Friday night, this past week, I'm sitting on my computer. Shit you not. Okay. So the last vlog I uploaded, this happened right as this, like, that all went down. The last vlog I uploaded was like 1 or 2 days late from when I actually made it. So I believe I made it on a Thursday and I actually uploaded it on a Friday or maybe really early Saturday. I don't remember which one it was. But anyway, so got done uploading it, editing stuff. And I'm sitting at my computer doing stuff, and I get an email. It's about 11:30 at night on a Friday, and I'm like, okay, it's an email, and I had my email open just because that's one of the things I do when I have my computer on. I'll have if I'm running a computer that isn't like hardware stupid, like my gaming PC can handle doing multiple things at once. So basically, I've got my email, my Facebook, YouTube open all at the same time, plus whatever else I'm doing. So I've got my email open. Well, the email comes through. It's from Green Hills, and it's the GM from Green Hills. And basically, he said, "Hey, I'm reposting the position for the manager position. Which one did you want to apply for, full-time or part-time?" I said, well, I wanted to apply for full-time, but if I have to apply for part-time, I can. Because the last interview I had, he said, well, it's going to be really hard for you to get from floor staff, which is what I am right now, to full-time. Well, I was like, okay, I guess I can try full-time, and then if I'm working out part-time and I like being a manager and yada, 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 I can get moved up to full-time whenever I can. I was like, well, I can do either one, but I would prefer full-time. He's like, okay, well, when would be a good time for you to meet me? And I was like, well, what's your schedule, and I can tell you. And he's like, well, I'm working tomorrow, which in that time frame, it was Saturday. Or Saturday, Sunday, and there's some other random day during the week. And so I'm like, well, we can meet tomorrow. What time do you want to meet? And he's like, 4:30. I'm here at 2:30 to 10:30 or something like that. I'm like, okay, I'll be there 4:30. I got to be at Opry Mills at 6. That's fine. I go over there Saturday during the day. Also, before that happened, I got a call, I think, the next day to set up an appointment with Target. Not the same Target that called me from before from London Road, but the other one that's on White Bridge Road, which is right next to the right next to the school I used to go to, technical college. So I was kind of wanting to go to that one anyway, if it wasn't the London Road one. So they called me like, hey, you want to set up an interview? We can set it up. So it's set up for Tuesday, 9 in the morning, which was today, this morning. I'll get to that. So, I go over to Green Hills, and, we have our second interview, and I'm, answering all his questions. We're going back and forth. He's like, do you guys do this Opry Mills? I'm like, yeah. What's this different about? How you been doing? Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay. We're having conversation. He's like, well, let's go take a tour of the building. I'm like, okay. So we go take a tour of the building, And by the time we leave the office that we're like in, and he's interviewing me in, when he said that, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because you don't just give someone a tour of everywhere in the building without telling them something. So we go uh, downstairs to the projection booth because there's like the way their building's laid out is like there's two auditoriums that are upstairs that are the bigger theaters, and then there's 16 theaters, and then 14 other theaters are downstairs. So we go downstairs to be above. This is gonna sound really weird. We go downstairs to be above the bottom floor theaters, and he takes me through the projection booth, and then we go back upstairs, and then we look at some other like side alleyways and stuff that lay outside the theater, and then he takes me down through the concession stand that's downstairs. There's two concession stands at this theater, and then we go back upstairs and we're standing at like this rail. There's an escalator that leads downstairs. We're standing at this rail, and he's like, well, we're looking for a manager that can get his hands dirty. Obviously, you would know something about that since you're already floor staff. I'm like, okay, yep, I can do that. Yeah, that's the 411. That's what I do. So, and he's like, I'd like to extend the job offer for a part-time manager position at Green Hills to start working here. And so I accepted it. So, getting to that. So, he said, okay, I'll contact you in a couple of days, let you know. Our district manager is on vacation, which I knew. And then we filled out some paperwork in the office, and then I left. And then I went to Opry Mills, and I worked that night, and I basically told everyone. I was like, hey, so I'm going to be a manager. Most of the people that I told saw me come in dressed up like I would be a manager. They saw me dressed up. They're like, oh, well, did you go to Green Hills today, or how did it go? But I didn't tell anyone because I just found out the day before. So they just kind of assumed, I guess so, they just assumed that, oh, he probably went to Green Hills again. And I was like, well, I got it. And so everybody's like, oh, congratulations, I'm so happy for you, that type of stuff. And so that happened. And then yesterday, I'm, here at the house. And then I'm getting ready to go to my grandparents' house. We're going to have dinner. And they're moving into their new house and all this other stuff. And I'm getting ready to pull out of the garage. And the GM from Green Hills calls me and says, hey, Brandon, I'm going to need you to be here by Friday. So I'm like, oh, gosh. I thought I was going to have like another week or something like that. I'm like, okay, when do you want me to be there Friday? He's like, well, I'm going to send you the details through email, but show up on Friday in floor staff attire, which is what I usually wear, which is, this shirt. And, it's the normal stuff. So I'm like, okay. And so I'm supposed to show up sometime Friday. And then I go about my business for the rest of the day, and we have dinner. I help move stuff, and then we go to Cracker Barrel for dinner. I can English. And as we're pulling in the Cracker Barrel, I get a call from Kroger's, and they're like, "We see you apply." I applied for some like online preparer. Like there's people that order stuff online. And I'd basically be the person that makes that stuff. So, I didn't even know Kroger did anything technological like that, but whatever. So, I applied for that, and they called me, and they're like, we want to extend the job offer to you and get an interview. It is $7.40 an hour. And I was like, sorry, I've already got another job offer that I've accepted as a manager. But thanks. And they were like, oh, congratulations. And it's like, thanks, and got off the phone with them, so I'm not going to Kroger. That's for sure. So, um, and then uh, went about doing all my stuff, and then when I was on the phone with the GM with Green Hills, he told me to tell someone to transfer my file over from Opry Mills to Green Hills, and um, I went over to Opry Mills and I was like, "Hey, so do I need to talk to anybody about this?" And one of the managers was like, "No, Mark will do it." The GM over at Opry Mills, Mark will do it. Whatever. And so I was like, okay. I talked to a couple of the managers, and supposedly some emails got sent through their email inbox at the theater, and everybody's been reading it, and everybody's been, oh my gosh, I didn't know we were losing that fast, and stuff like that. So I've been like, all the other managers are congratulating me, and they're like, we're gonna miss you, but I mean, you're gonna at least come over here. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come over here because the theater over at Green Hills is not that great. They're gonna go through remodeling while I'm there. Supposedly, that's what the GM is saying. But Opera Mills right now is where I'm gonna go see all my movies because IMAX. So, um, and because I know everyone there. That's also another reason. But so I did that, left, came home, and then this morning I went over to Target and I had my interview. And I sat around for a good 10 minutes before I even got to see the guy that was going to interview me. His name was Steven. I sat around for about 10 minutes, and then he finally comes up to I guess their customer service desk. He's like, "How are you, Brandon?" I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "I'm Steven. I'll be interviewing you today." And that whole spiel. How you doing? Yeah. So we go back off to the office, and we sit down for a total of 5 minutes, and 10 minutes tops. We sit down, and he said, and how I filled out my application, because it was before I even knew I was going to get in Green Hills. How I filled out my application was, I worked at Opry Mills as floor staff. I've been there almost 5 years. I do pretty much everything. That's how I filled it out, basically. And so he said, well, by the application we've got here, it says that you used to work at Opry Mills. Can I ask what happened by that? I'm like, I still work there. He's like, oh, okay. Well, how long have you been there? I'm like, I've been in there a little over 4.5 years. It's like, okay, well, when's your 5-year anniversary? Like November 4th. He's like, oh, okay, you know the date. I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, okay, well, I said, well, I'm actually going to be promoted to manager here at Green Hills location. Here, I'm starting Friday, actually. He's like, oh, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, it kind of happened in between, this application process and something else. He's like, oh, well, what's your availability going to be like? I was like, I can't really tell you because I don't really know anything about my schedule, but I know I can make him just closing shifts, but it's not going to look good on anybody else if I'm just going to be able to work one, closing or open shift, and just work like 4 or 5 closing shifts and never like open or anything. And he was like, yeah, I understand, but I have to have like a semi-open availability, so we can't really hire you here. And I'm like, okay. So basically, me getting this Green Hills position is I need to be there with Green Hills or a manager position part-time until I either make it full-time or I need to go back to floor staff, because it's going to be impossible for me to get a job that's part-time while I'm a manager. Which, I mean, if I like it, it's not a problem. And supposedly, if I go, say, I fucking hate it, and I want to go, like, okay, well, I don't like this, I'm going to go back to Opera Mills. They can only cut your pay so much. So, I could go back and be getting, basically, I'm being an overpaid floor staff member. Which is completely fine with me, because I've been doing the same shit I was doing before. But, I mean, I would prefer to be a manager because it's different stuff, I've never had a position of power before. So it's going to be a little interesting, but we'll see. But I start there Friday. Um, Start there Friday. My last day at Opera Mills is tomorrow. If it wasn't for me switching with one other person, I would have worked Monday during the day, and my last day would be today. And I probably wouldn't see a whole lot of people that I want to see before I leave. There's some people that I've worked at Opera Mills for the same length that I've worked there, um, if not a little less, that I want to see at least one more time. And it's not saying I'm not going to ever come back up there again, because I'm going to come back up there because of the movies. But, there's going to be some people that I'm probably not going to see a whole lot, like our GM. He doesn't come out of his office a whole lot. Or our assistant GM, where he's kind of all over the place. So I at least want to see everyone at least one more time. There's only one manager I think I've been told that's not going to be there either tonight or tomorrow night. And that's because he is on vacation. Well, he's on vacation / he had a funeral to go to. And I just said that, and I know the people that work at the theater right now know who I'm talking about. But I won't be able to see him before I leave, but I'll see him at some point in time in the future because he works there pretty regularly. So, yeah, that's going on. I got to be there at like 5 today, so I'm probably going to shut this off depending on how long it is. I might try to upload today. It probably won't get uploaded until tomorrow. But I will see you guys next time. Hopefully next time I see you guys, well, something else catastrophic happens, will be after I'm a manager on Friday. And just see how it goes. That's all I can really say. Just see how it goes. If I semi-dislike it, then I'm just going to kind of stick it out until I can either move back to Opry Mills as a manager or get somewhere else. If I hate it, then I can always go back to Opry Mills as a regular floor staff and get paid more. If I love it, then, we'll just keep going. We'll keep on moving up. We'll see what we can do. But remember, like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Like the Facebook page will be linked down below in the description. And I will see you guys next time as a manager. Bye.